This story is one you won't forget. It begins with a mother who tried to end her own child. Her name was Sarah Matthews, known in her river town as the woman who never smiled. Sharp cheekbones, quiet voice, a temper hiding behind polite nods. She had only one child, a bright 7-year-old boy named Malcolm, who laughed like the world had never hurt him. But one calm night, when the river was quiet and the town slept, Sarah carried her son to the old bridge. No screaming, no fighting, just her shaking hands and one whisper, "I'm sorry, I can't do this anymore." She pushed him. The river swallowed him. She walked home, went to bed, and reported him missing at sunrise. Everyone believed her. She even cried louder than the neighbors. But Malcolm didn't die. A fisherman named Old Man Paco found him hours later, caught between reeds, bruised, barely breathing. Paco had no kids, no family, no plan, but he raised the boy and named him Malcolm Duncan. Malcolm grew up wild, funny, a little too loud, a mechanic with grease-stained hands and a smile that healed people. He never knew he'd already survived his own mother. 18 years passed. Sarah rebuilt her life and became a motivational speaker, preaching healing from loss, which is ironic since the only loss she ever caused was deliberate. Guilt haunted her like a shadow that refused to leave. Then one day, she saw a local news headline, "Local hero, Malcolm Duncan." That smile, that dimple, that familiar face, her heart exploded. That was her son, the one she left for dead. She began watching him from afar, following him, memorizing his laugh, building imaginary conversations in her head. She even practiced apologizing to mannequins. One mannequin fell over, and she told it, "I'm sorry," while a woman whispered, "Ma'am, please get help." But finally, she found the courage. She walked to Malcolm's workshop. Malcolm slid out from under a truck, oil dripping everywhere, and joked, "Hi, you're not here to stab me, right? Because that happened once." Then he saw her face and froze. Something about her felt familiar. "Can I help you, ma'am?" he asked. Her voice cracked. "I'm your mother." He laughed because he thought she was insane. "My mother drowned," he said. She stepped closer. "Your mother did something unforgivable, but you survived, and I've been searching for you ever since." Then she told him everything. The bridge, the push, the lie. Malcolm's hands shook. Old Man Paco had always said he found him in the river, but Malcolm never questioned it. Hearing the truth from the source broke something inside him. "Why?" he whispered. And Sarah gave the ugliest answer possible. "I didn't want to be a mother, and I thought losing you would hurt less than raising you." Malcolm stepped back like she'd stabbed him. She begged him for forgiveness, cried, collapsed, and after minutes of silence, he whispered, "Fine, I forgive you." She melted into relief. 20 years of guilt lifted off her shoulders. But Malcolm wasn't smiling, because his forgiveness was a lie, and it was the first step in a plan he had already started building. Over the next few weeks, he played the role of the forgiving son. He invited her to lunch, let her hug him, even let her post a photo captioned, "A miracle, my son has returned." People praised her for surviving tragedy. But strange things began happening. Her car brakes failed. Her front door appeared open when she returned home. Her phone wiped itself clean.
Her speeches were interrupted by anonymous voices yelling, "Ask her what she did to her child." She thought she was losing her mind. She wasn't. Malcolm was watching her unravel, slowly, painfully, beautifully. To him, justice wasn't a courtroom. It was fear. Then one night, she woke up and found hundreds of printed photos covering her living room. Photos of Malcolm as a child, at the river, at the bridge, that night. Photos taken from angles no one should have. A final photo lay in the center with words written in black ink. "I remember everything." Her breath froze because the photo was taken behind her, meaning someone was there, that night, watching, recording, someone who never came forward, someone who just stepped out of the shadows. Her phone buzzed. A message flashed from an unknown number. Only 3 words. She wasn't alone. Now the truth begins. Saren froze, her breath thin, her hands shaking so hard she nearly dropped her phone. The silhouette stepped forward, slowly, calmly, and when he entered the room, she gasped because it wasn't Malcolm. It was Old Man Paco, the fisherman, the man who raised her son, his beard wild, his eyes angry. He said, "You finally remember me, Saren?" Her voice cracked. Why are you here?" Paco stepped closer. "Because I saw what you did. I saw you push that boy like he was trash. I saw you go home without looking back. I watched everything." She swallowed hard. You took pictures?" "Every single one." He lifted a small old camera. "I kept them for years, waiting, hoping your day of truth would come. And now it has." She backed away. "What do you want?" Paco didn't answer. He just pointed behind her. She turned, and there was Malcolm, standing in the doorway, arms crossed, expression cold enough to cut glass. She whispered his name, but he didn't move. He didn't blink. He said, "Mom, sit down." She obeyed, not because she wanted to, but because something in his voice felt final. Malcolm walked toward her. "You think forgiveness is free?" She shook her head, tears running. "I just wanted to be part of your life again." "No, you wanted to erase guilt. You didn't want me. You wanted relief." She covered her face. "I'm sorry." "You're sorry," he repeated, "because you got caught." Paco placed a folder on the table. Dozens more photos spilled out. Audio recordings, old videos from that night. Evidence no court would ignore. Evidence that could bury her forever. Saren looked at Malcolm. Are you turning me in?" Malcolm gave a small, cruel smile. "No, jail is too easy. You taught me something that night. Pain teaches deeper lessons." She trembled. "What do you want me to do?" Malcolm leaned forward. "Tell the world the truth. Every detail. No excuses, no lies. You're going to confess publicly, on camera, in your own voice." Saren's heart stopped. "Please, no, I'll lose everything." Malcolm whispered, "You tried to take my everything." She broke down completely, sobbing, begging, promising things she couldn't deliver. But Malcolm stepped back and said, "We're live." He held up his phone. The red dot was glowing. She panicked. "No, please, Malcolm, don't do this. I'm your mother." "Were you my mother that night? On the bridge?" She couldn't answer. Her silence was her confession. Malcolm said for the whole world to hear, "Tell them what you did." She tried to speak, but words failed. Malcolm's voice hardened. "Say it!" And finally she broke. "I pushed my son into the river because I didn't want him." The comments exploded instantly. People watching live were horrified, furious, disgusted. Sharon covered her face, but Malcolm didn't stop. He made her describe everything: the walk, the push, the lie, the years of pretending to be a grieving mother. Every ugly detail spilled out while the world listened. By the time she finished, she was shaking violently. "Please, stop. I've told the truth. What more do you want?" Malcolm looked at her with the coldest eyes she'd ever seen. "I want you to feel what I felt." He pointed to the photos on the floor. Every night, every memory, every fear. Paco stepped forward. "It's time." Sharon panicked. "Time for what? Malcolm!"
Malcolm, please, don't hurt me. Malcolm shook his head. "We're not hurting you. You're going to the police yourself." "What?" "You're walking in there, on camera, confessing. If you don't, this live video goes viral in 30 seconds. Saran screamed. "Malcolm, I'm your mother." "No," he said. "A mother protects. You tried to destroy." She collapsed to her knees, begging again, but Malcolm had already turned away. Paco grabbed his coat. "Let's go, Sharon, before this gets even worse." For the first time in her life, she saw herself clearly, weak, selfish, and alone. And for the first time in his life, Malcolm felt strong. She walked to the police station with Malcolm recording her every step. People recognized her. Some yelled, some cried, some threw things. She kept whispering, "Please, please," but the crowd didn't care. Inside the station, she confessed everything, still on camera, while officers stared at her in disbelief. Malcolm turned off the live after her confession. Then he stepped close and whispered one final sentence. "I forgive you now. Not for you, but so I can finally breathe." Saran sobbed as officers took her away. That night, Malcolm sat with Paco by the river, the same river that tried to take him, the same river that kept his secret. And Malcolm finally said, "It's over." Paco nodded. "Now you can live." Malcolm looked at the water, calm and harmless, and said, "Justice isn't revenge, it's truth, and truth always finds its way home." But just when Malcolm thought it was over, his phone buzzed with a message from an unknown number. Only 3 words. She wasn't alone. Malcolm stared at the screen. Someone else knew what happened that night. Someone else had been on that bridge. Someone who had remained silent for 20 years. Someone who just woke up. And the message ended with a chilling warning. "I'm coming next."